markets and the United States are reaching the moment of truth. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, May the 11th. Happy Mother's Day. And of course, markets are reaching the moment of truth, as is the United States. And I think we'll start with the United States. We are reaching the moment of truth with tariffs, with how we're going to operate. Is Trump going to give in? And my hope is that we don't give in. My hope is that we don't come down on tariffs. My hope is that we don't make deals until we get the deals that we want. I guess we'll go back to the art of the deal. And again, I don't think that we should be worried about China, and we should be worried about anybody else other than the fact that we need to maintain and regain control of the world. We are the most powerful nation, and we need to have the best opportunity to straighten out the rest of the world. But first things first, we have to straighten out the United States. There has been so much damage done to this country over the past 30, 40 years, okay, that we don't have a good grasp and a good handle. We have a lot of taking of our money. We have a lot of spending of our money. We have a lot of our taxes being used for things that have nothing to do with what they're supposed to be used for. So I think that we need to clean up our house, and the way that we can clean up our house is starting here, but also cleaning up the rest of the world with tariffs, with the way that President Trump is doing things. I'm in 100% agreement at the way things are going. And that then puts the markets at the moment of truth, which we'll get more into our market report. But at the end of the day, we have reached a level in which the markets are going to decide whether or not to go higher or lower from here. I think they'll go lower, but we will talk about that in our market report. But the administration, I think, has done a good job. And, I think that he's had a lot of big wins already so far. Obviously, many disagree, and this is one of the biggest problems in this country. If you've been voting for any length of time, the separation between parties has never been greater. And I think it's a tragedy that first we only get two choices, a Republican or a Democrat. We don't get the third choice. Obviously, we have the Green Party and the Tea Party and the Libertarian Party, but none of them have enough money, power, or votes, or ability to get on ballots in all 50 states. So that creates a problem, because you're back into the example is that Coke advertises for Pepsi, Pepsi advertises for Coke, but you don't get no RC Cola. So I think that is one of the issues that we need to deal with. But I think that the wins we've seen from Trump have been very solid. And again, I'm starting with tariffs. I think that's been first of all, it has been a moneymaker. So you can talk all you want. It has made money, but not enough. And of course, the DOGE program is also good, but it has not cut enough. We have to cut more. We have to get to a government. We have to get to a country that actually lives by a reasonable budget, as we do at home. Okay, if you and I lived like the government, we'd be in bankruptcy court or jail. So it's a problem. $373 million in DEA funding for universities in 4 years. Thank God they cut that program out. Again, I think that this is all part of it. I think if you go back to the beginning of the Biden administration, where they were tearing down the statues and they were tearing down history, I don't think that you can eliminate history. History is part of who we are. And again, it's the old story. If you don't learn from history, you're going to repeat it. Okay. So I think that that's a problem. And of course, I think Jaguar learned that as they're out looking for a new agency after their woke disaster. I think that the big three automakers are pissed off at Trump for what's going on in the UK and the trade deal. But let's think about that for a minute. If you know the story of the automobile business, for years, going way back, there were others that tried to compete. And of course, because the big three were so big, it's the same as the Coke Pepsi idea, it's the same as politics. Another automaker couldn't really get in, and not until Tesla and others have been able to squeeze in a little bit, but overall, screw the big three. We've already bailed them out once, especially General Motors. Again, why should we not have choice? This is one of the problems that I have. 80% of tariffs for China seems right. That doesn't seem right to me. I like the 125% better. But there's talk that Trump has to give China a way to save face, and my question to everybody is why? Why do we have to give China a way to save face? China has not been our friend. China did send COVID over here. I don't care what anybody says. China is the worst human rights in the world. Okay, they already get the most amount of protection from our actors and our movie theater and our athletes. Okay, so why do we have to give them a chance to save face once again? They have never once kept their word at what they do. So again, are we really concerned about what China wants to do when they're trying to take over the world? Okay, Chinese exports dropped 21%, but total exports rise. So again, that's good for trade. Okay, we're importing less than we're exporting. Okay, I think one of the things here is the businesses don't know how to plan for the uncertainty, and the market's getting tired. Look, I think you have to plan for what you do. I mean, you have a track record. You do have statistics on what happened the last time we went through this, and I think that if you can't plan for it, then it shows you that you're not really doing your job. Okay, we've got oil. You've noticed coming way down in price, which will help inflation. You had the imbecile Jerome Powell speaking, and of course, who the hell could understand what he was saying when he was speaking on Wednesday about rates? And I don't know, and inflation. Well, first of all, inflation is nowhere near 2%. I don't give a shit what they say. That's a total crock of shit. But you now have OPEC trying to shove oil down our throat, helping us actually push the prices down. But if you understand what they're really trying to do, OPEC is really trying to force our manufacturers, our drillers, our shale producers, our frackers to not produce oil, so that because they want to make it cost prohibitive, so that the cost of production is more than the cost of sale, so they won't do it. Now, of course, this has always been a very fine line, which we'll talk about more in our commentary. But this is always a very fine line of what is true cost, and this is something that we'll talk about. We'll talk about in our commentary. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday. It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And speaking of all you mothers, we have a new sponsor and a new partner and a new business venture that I'm involved in, and called The Joy of Mom, which is spectacular. There'll be more information coming shortly, but check it out. In the meantime, let's step out here for our break and go to step out and come back with our market report after the break. What's up, kids? What's going on? And of course, for you mothers, hope you're having a happy Mother's Day. In the meantime, as you know, we have sponsors for the show, and our sponsors are mostly brokerage partners, except for our new sponsor, Joy of Mom. And what a perfect day for that, Mother's Day. But our brokerage partners are TRADIER Brokerage, Capital Trading Group, and ITM Trading, and again, they've all got their own purposes. And again, I have other brokers, so I'm not telling you should go to them. I'm saying to you that you should check them out, and their information is on the bottom or on the sides. Again, it never hurts to check out, wherever you are. It never hurts to check out to see if there's something better for you. I do have other brokers as well, so just to give you full disclosure. And then, of course, we have our offshore betting partner, SpookyExpress.com, and our high school program. So check it out. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horwitz, and our market report. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 11th. Happy Mother's Day. Well, I mean, it was an interesting week. I don't think it was anything wild one way or the other. It was rather, markets are rather illiquid. There's low volume, high volatility, which is not a good mix. I think that we have reached the moment of truth. And if you remember, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we said that we expected a big rally. and we have now rallied back at or near the 200-day moving average, and that now becomes resistance to 200-day moving average. I believe, and we are still long across the board, but I believe that in the next couple of days, we will reach the peak. We will reach the pinnacle of this rally. We will exit, we will reverse, and we will get short. But I think that we are going to see markets under some pretty heavy pressure. And I think that we're going to take out the lows put in not that long ago from where this rally came from. But again, I'm not telling you to get short. I'm telling you what we're looking at and what our expectations are. In the meantime, as you look at the markets, we are still long the 4 major indices. And of course, if we look at the rest of the markets, the dollar, okay, we don't trade it, but we would be long. And again, the only reason we don't trade it is the cost from the New York Exchange, is not because there's anything wrong with the dollar. We are still short the euro currency. We are still short notes and bonds. We are still long Bitcoin. We are still short gold, and gold is starting to show a little bit of weakness. We are flat silver. Platinum, we would be short if we traded it, but we don't trade it. It's not liquid enough. We are still long copper. We are still long corn. I'm still looking for a spot to sell cattle. I'm still looking for a spot to buy hogs. Natural gas we're long, and crude we are long. And again, it was a decent week. I think, again, you just have to remember that the first thing we need as traders is liquidity. We don't have that liquidity right now. So you have to be very careful and wait because of the challenge of where we are. Okay. And I think we have to trade accordingly, which means that sometimes no trade is a trade. I think you got to be very careful in here and let the markets dictate. But until there's a little bit more volume and some better liquidity, you better be very, very careful. In the meantime, let's step out for our final break right here on Bubba's Bottom Line and come back with our market commentary on this Mother's Day. So we'll step out for a break right now. Well, kids, again, remember our sponsors, and happy Mother's Day to all my mothers. And remember, Joy of Mom, perfect for our Mother's Day announcement. Tradier, Capital Trading Group, ITM Trading, Spooky Express, and our high school program. And let's get back for my market commentary. Actually, not for my commentary, not my market commentary. Here on Sunday, May the 11th, Mother's Day. Let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 11th. And of course, earlier we talked a little bit about OPEC and what they're trying to do. And again, I always get a little irritated when they talk about costs. And, originally the cost was they needed $65 a barrel to make money on oil. Then it was 60, then it was 55. We don't really know the cost. We don't know what it costs to produce a barrel of oil, but I'm going to say that it's probably sub 30. Okay. Remember, if you look at the profits of these oil companies, okay, that'll tell you whether or not they're making money at whatever price they're charging. And every time we've had a drop down, their profits continue to soar because they have more production. So again, I think that we have to step up and tell OPEC to shove it up their ass. I think that OPEC's nothing but a bunch of criminals anyways. I think we have to allow our country to continue to drill more. I think we have to use more of our own. I think that, again, I think we're headed down into the 40s. Okay, that is my prediction, I suppose. But I think that will obviously help inflation. That will lower the cost because, of course, 80% of everything we do is related to fossil fuels. That is not changing soon until we go to nuclear energy, which, of course, politically, they will never do that because they're not going to be able to take enough money for that. But that would be the right thing to do. But OPEC is trying to make a move. I hope that our oil companies stand up because, again, it's not about what they're making because they're going to make money at almost any price. And it's a total bunch of crap when you look at it. And again, this is why we, the American people, have to step up and really shove it and be strong enough to push back. That's the way I see it for this week. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd, Bubba Horwitz. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and to all of you, have a great weekend. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.